Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Happy July the 2nd. You know, July the 2nd, 1776 is when Congress voted to declare its independence. The Declaration of Independence, of course, was ratified on July the 4th, but John Adams and the other founding fathers all thought that we would be celebrating Independence Day on July the 2nd. So here we are on July the 2nd. You did it right. Behind me is the Carrollton Wind Ensemble. In front of me is the Carroll County Community Chorus. As soon as I make my way through them where they can see me, we're going to start tonight's concert with singing and playing the national anthem. There's a flag right there. We invite you to stand and join us.
Pick up.
Thank you very much, and thank you for coming out tonight. Tonight is the first of a 3-night music festival to celebrate Independence Day. So this is, again, the Carrollton Wind Ensemble. Earlier you heard the Carroll County Community Chorus. They'll come back later to sing some more at the end of the program. The title, the theme of tonight is American Marches and More. So you're going to hear quite a few marches, like the one you just heard by John Philip Sousa, Stars and Stripes Forever. The next one's one you may not know quite as well. It's called Joyce's 71st New York Regiment's March. Thank you. Isn't that nice? Isn't that a great march? We don't play it that often. Man, that's a great march. Okay, so now we're going to play one that you've heard. I promise you've heard this. The title of the version we're doing tonight is called Variations on a Shaker Melody. You know it from Aaron Copland's ballet suite, Appalachian Spring. Very, very famous composition, won Pulitzer Prize, Grammy Award winning, Best Original Composition of the whole night. It was originally written for only 13 instruments, so everybody had a solo. It was so popular that Copland then wrote it for full orchestra, and that's the one that you hear in movies and on television and in commercials. Anyway, it's going to be very, very familiar. Well, this version, the Variations on the Shaker theme, takes a lot of those original instrumentation for the 13 people. So you're going to hear a lot of them playing some solos up here. It's a pretty tricky piece. Here's the story of the ballet. It's about a wedding. It's about a wedding. And the way I imagine, if I were the ballet director, I imagine the bride, it's the morning of her wedding. She's laying in bed, and at the beginning, we see her, the movie kind of starts, and she's asleep in her bed. And then all of a sudden, with a clarinet solo, she wakes up and realizes, today's my wedding day. And from then on, the excitement of the wedding day happens until eventually the ceremony takes place. There's this big moment where the bridal party is coming in, and you'll recognize it, and then it gets really soft, and it's the flower girl and the ring bearer. They're dropping the petals, and the little ring bearer boy runs off the wrong way, and his mama goes and grabs him and brings him back and puts him back up front. You know, the way it happens at weddings. And then finally they open the door, and you see the bride for the first time in her beautiful white wedding dress. So I think you can follow that movie as we play Aaron Copland's Variations on a Shaker Melody. All right, now we're going to play one that's, in its day, was radical. Okay? Not so radical to us anymore. I want you to imagine, we're in the World War II era. I want you to imagine the Army, straight-laced, button-up, shoe shine, walking a straight line, no cutting up, no individualism, a unit. And along comes this GI who happened to be a jazz saxophone player. And somehow he makes his way into the Army band and turns the whole thing upside down. So you've got to kind of listen to this with those ears. It's supposed to be a little bit shocking. It's really not shocking to us unless you really try to make it. So I want you to try to make it shocking, okay? It's called St. Louis Blues. All right, you've no doubt noticed in the news that 2025 is the 250th anniversary of the United States Army. And so we're going to recognize that fact by playing a march called U.S. Field Artillery, which includes the Army song. So you'll recognize that. Later on, we're going to allow all of our current and former service members to stand when their service themes are played. That'll include the Army. So for this one, you can just enjoy it. That was Rakes of Mallow. And now we're going to play one that I know we haven't played for you, and here's how I know. A few years ago, the Carroll Symphony Orchestra premiered a composition by a composer from Los Angeles, and his name is Corey Field. It's a wonderful piece called Laurel Canyon. And it was the story of this drive through Laurel Canyon and coming up on this party that was just out of control, having to listen to the party from the outside, not getting invited in. That kind of, that was the scenario. It's a wonderful, rollicking kind of piece. You feel like you're on a ride. Well, the Carroll Symphony performed that. Mark Zickafoos, back on the tuba, is the tuba player in the Carroll Symphony. He went up to Corey after the concert and said, you know, we've got a great concert band if you ever want to rewrite that for concert band. And sure enough, a few months ago, this came in the mail. So this will be the world premiere of the concert band version of Corey Field's Laurel Canyon. we're going to invite the Carroll County Community Chorus to come up again. By the way, the Carroll County Community Chorus practices every Monday night at the Carrollton Center for the Arts. You are welcome to come join us on Monday evenings. This choir is getting ready to travel to Austria in December. They've accepted an invitation to perform at the Vienna Advent Sing in Vienna. So we'll be there in December. We'll come back and present Handel's Messiah just 3 days after we return here with the Carroll Symphony Orchestra. If you sing, if you'd like to sing, if you always wondered if you could sing, you're welcome to come join us. As they will tell you, we work really hard, but we laugh a whole lot. We probably laugh as much as we sing. So we invite you to come join us. If you played a concert band instrument in high school or college, no matter how long it may have been since you played, you are invited to come join the Carrollton Wind Ensemble. We rehearse on Tuesday evenings, and it's open to anyone, 9th grade and up. And I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, I'd like to do that, but I need to practice for a few weeks before I felt ready. Well, I'm here to tell you that'll never happen. You'll never do it, not in 100 years. As I like to say, you can't swim until you jump in the pool. You can talk about swimming, but you got to get wet. So come on in. You'll sit for a couple of weeks and wonder, what in the world have I done? And by the third week, it'll all have come back to you. So we invite you to come and join us on Tuesday evenings. Both of these groups will start the third week of August, and you're invited to come. So now the community chorus will sing with us the rest of the program. The next piece is America the Beautiful. forces. If you are currently or ever did serve in one of the branches of our armed forces, we invite you to please stand when your service theme is played. If you are a spouse of someone who served and had to move base to base to base, you get to stand up too. So we invite you to also be recognized when your branch is played as we perform Salute to the Patriots. The next piece we're going to play, we do in honor of those who paid the ultimate sacrifice, those who were killed in action. This is from the wonderful movie Saving Private Ryan. It's by John Williams. It's called Hymn to the Fallen. For the next two pieces, I'm going to invite Zachary Nelson, who's one of the band directors at Carrollton High School, to come and lead the next two pieces. Hymn to the Fallen.
Greetings all, and thank you so much for being here today. I'm usually not too good at this, but I think this needs to be said. This next piece is entitled Fanfare for Someday. It's written by our very own Mr. Terry Laurel. Give it up for Terry. I don't know where he ran off to, but yes. It's, I don't think it's any secret. Terry is a gem in this community, and he goes above and beyond for many, many schools in our community, many ensembles in our community. So to be able to play this in his honor, written by him, is special to me. You will notice a familiar tune in this. Lift every voice and sing. It is a very, very special piece, especially to those in the Black community, in all honesty. This was a piece that we use really to guide us and get us through. You will listen to the lyrics of this and you will understand why this is important to members of the African American community. So again, Terry is a wonderful individual, and for him to incorporate this in this piece, it just speaks volumes to who he is as a person. And dearly from me, thank you. Thank you for all that you've done for me, for the ensembles, for the community. Again, thank you. This next piece is Fanfare for Someday. Very much.
very much, Zach. So thank you again for coming tonight to our American marches and more. We hope you'll come back same place, same time tomorrow night here at the Amp to hear the Carrollton Jazz Orchestra play American jazz standards and classics that you'll love. And then Friday night at 8:30 in front of Carrollton Elementary School, the Carroll Symphony Orchestra will present The Sounds of Liberty, a program of nothing but American composers. And we're the ones that kick off the wonderful fireworks display presented by the city of Carrollton. So the best place to enjoy the fireworks are right in front of the stage. They shoot them right over us. And the orchestra keeps playing marches. It's fantastic. So to people who want to stop on the side of the bypass or pull over at Target or whatever, that's like driving up to a house to go to a birthday party and staying in the car. Come on in, come to the party. It's right there in front of the stage. Look forward to seeing you there Friday night. Tomorrow night at 8 o'clock here, Friday night at 8:30 in front of Carrollton Elementary School. Thank you again for coming tonight. We're going to close tonight's program with the Battle Hymn of the Republic.
He